Good morning. Today we are multiplying and dividing integers. First question says the record low temperature in Louisiana is negative 16 degrees Fahrenheit. The record low temperature in Maine is 3 times lower than the record low in Louisiana. What is the record low temperature in Maine? So we know in Louisiana it's negative 16 degrees. In Maine, it's 3 times lower than in Louisiana. So 3 times that negative 16. It says it's lower, so it's on our temperature scale. It's not in the positives. It's got to be towards the negatives. 3 times lower than negative 16. So we know when we multiply these, our answer is still going to be a negative number. So we just need to multiply 3 times 16. There's 2 ways we can do that. We can use our multiplication table, or we can write it out, 16 times 3. Well, 6 times 3 is 18, so we put the 1 up top and the 8 down below. So we multiplied here. Now we need to multiply diagonally. 3 times 1 is 3. Then we add the extra number to get 4. So we get a negative 48. If we used our multiplication table, 16 times 3, here's 16 and 3. If we follow those, we shall get the same answer, 48. So the record low temperature in Maine is negative 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty cold. If you think about the United States, if this is the United States, I don't know what it looks like. Florida, Texas, California, something like that. Hey, not too bad. Maine is way up here in the corner, and Louisiana is down here somewhere. It looks like a boot, right? So it makes sense that it's not as cold here as it is way up here in the north. It's a lot colder in the north, in Maine. So, looking at multiplying and dividing integers, if we have the same sign, both positive numbers, our answer is going to be positive. Right down here, same sign, positive answer. 2 happy people are going to get along, right? They're going to be happy together. If we have a happy person, a positive, and a grumpy person, a negative, well, they're not going to get along. So if we multiply or divide positives and negatives, you're going to get a negative. Different signs, you get a negative answer. If we have 2 grumpy people, 2 negatives, they're going to get along because they feel the same way. I don't like that it's raining outside today. I don't like that it's raining outside today either. They're going to get along. So your answer is going to be a positive. That's why when we have said the opposite of a negative number becomes a positive, which is because this is really a negative 1 times a negative 7. A negative times a negative makes a positive. So those are our rules for multiplying and dividing integers. Alright, we're going to listen to a short song here quick on multiplying and dividing integers. Here we go.
Class, we're going to multiply integers. That's positive and negative numbers. Whole numbers and their opposites. Come on. Come on, let's multiply. The same sign, the product is positive. Different sign, different types of sign, the product is negative. Multiply the same sign, the product is positive. Different sign, different types of sign, the product is negative. Positive times positive, multiply and keep the positive sign. Negative times negative becomes positive, the negative behind. Positive times negative, multiply and keep the negative line. Negative times positive, multiply and keep the negative line. Positive times positive is positive. Negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. Negative times positive is negative.
Alright, so there was our video. Let's keep going in our notes and practice what we just learned. Quick Again here, positive times positive is positive. Positive times negative, they don't get along, it's negative. Negative times negative is positive. Those two get along, two grumpy numbers get along. So, negative times a negative is going to equal a positive. 3 times 4. If you don't know what 3 times 4 is, oops, use your multiplication table. 3 multiplied by 4 should give us 12. So a positive 12. Now if we have two numbers next to each other like this, this is another way of just saying 6 times negative 7. So we're really multiplying here when these are touching. Positive and negative, they don't get along, so our answer is going to be negative. 6 times 7 is going to give us, here's 6, here's 7, should give us 42. So a negative 42. Be careful on this next one. This one says divide. Now, can we use multiplication table to divide? Yes, we can. We can also write this as negative 24 divided by 6. It really means the same thing. So in order to use our multiplication table to divide, we're going to use a strategy which is called find and follow. We're going to find the number 6 and follow it until we get to 24. Our multiplication table doesn't have negatives and positives though, so we know a grumpy and a happy don't get along. Our answer is going to be a negative. So we're going to find 6 and follow it until we get to 24. It doesn't matter which 6 you pick to start from. I'm going to pick this one. Follow until you hit the number 24, and then look to the other axes to see what's our answer. Our answer is 4. So a negative 4. Let's take a look at these next two. We know two grumpy people get along, so our answer is going to be positive. Some of you know what 15 divided by 3 is. If you don't, we're going to find 3 and follow it to 15. So here's this one right here. Find 3, follow it to 15. Right there, our answer is 5. So you can write that down on your slide here, 5. This one you probably don't know in your head. So this is what we're going to use the multiplication table for. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. We know it's a negative. So we're going to find 15 and then follow to 105. So here's 15, follow to 105 right there, and look left, we get 7. Oops, other way. So a negative 7. Let's try a couple more. It says multiply or divide. Two grumpy numbers, they get along, so our answer is going to be a positive. We're going to find 8 and follow it to 40. Here's 8. Following it to 40, we get 5. Also, we know 8 times 5 is 40. Now, we're going to multiply. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. 3 times 14. So, use both numbers. We're finding both on here. 3 and 14. So here's 3, here's 14. Use your fingers to follow. Because if you write all over this, it would be hard to see the rest of the numbers. We have 42. So it's a negative 42. 0 divided by negative 7. Now this one's tricky because we have 7 on our number line, or on our multiplication chart, but we can't ever follow it to 0. So our answer is just that, 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. Think of it this way. If we have 0 cookies and we want to divide them into 7 groups, how many go in each group? Well, 0 go in each group. We can't put any in any of the groups. There is no such thing as a negative 0, however, so if you put this, that is technically wrong. There is no such thing as a negative 0. It's just 0. Because on our number line, 0 is the middle between the negative numbers and the positive numbers. Last one on the top, different signs. We have positive and negative. They don't get along, happy and grumpy, so we're going to end up with a negative. we're going to find 9 and follow it to 36. So here's 9. 36 is right there. So our answer should be 4. So negative 4. Now we have 3 numbers, and they're all touching, so we know it's multiplication. You can put the dot there. We're just going to work our way across, just like later on when we'll learn the order of operations. We just work from left to right. That's all multiplication, so really we're going to get the same answer right now. So these two, if we multiply, happy, grumpy, they don't get along. It's a negative 9 times 2. Here's 2. Here's 9. We get 18. So we have negative 18, and then a negative 1. Those are multiplied. 2 grumpy people, they get along. So 18 times 1 is just 18. Alright, next, happy, grumpy, they don't get along, so we know it's a negative. Find 3, follow it to 51. Here's 3, follow it to 30s, 40s. Oh, I gotta scroll down. 51, we get 17. So a negative 17. I want you to try these next two on your own, and then click play to see if you got it right. So first I'm going to find 8 and follow it up to 96. Here's 8, following to 96 right there. Look left, our answer is 12. Now this next one, we have 1 grumpy and 2 happy numbers. They're not going to get along. We know our answer is going to be negative. Some of these you might know. 5 times 3, you might know that that is 15, negative 15. But we need to multiply it by 2. So we really have negative 15 times 2 is a negative. Some of you may know it. Oops. Some of you may not. 15. Follow it to 2. We get 30. So negative 30 should be our answer. The last page is our pencils ready, meaning try it on your own. When you're done, raise your hand and I'll come give you your homework. So we have, first, 2 grumpy people. They get along. It's going to be a positive. 4 times 5 should have given you 20. Hopefully you did this on your own already. 3 times 3 times 3, we're all negatives. The opposite of a negative makes a positive. We also know 2 grumpy people get along, so it's going to be a positive. 3 times 3 is 9. But then times negative 3, don't get along, it's going to be a negative. 9 times 3 should have given you 27. Down here, happy and grumpy, don't get along, it's going to be negative. 8 times 8 is 64. Some of you may have known that one. And then this one was a little bit tricky. You needed to simplify the top first. 2 grumpy people get along, so 8 times 2 is 16. On the bottom we just have 4, it's a negative though. Happy and grumpy, they don't get along. Find 4, follow it to 16, you should get 4. So negative 4 is your answer. Alright, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I will give you your homework and you're good to go.